The opinions voiced in this podcast are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be suitable for you, consult the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision.
Welcome to How to Money with Kole and Kole.
I'm Kole.
And I'm Kole.
We coach people every day on their money and how to plan for the future.
As financial advisors, we're here to have an honest conversation on investing, retirement, and everything in between.
At Full Swing Financial Planning, we're here to empower you to take control of your plan, your way, for your financial future.
So let's talk money.
And sports.
Welcome back to How to Money with Kole and Kole. I am Baileigh Ashbrook, sitting with Cole Peterson.
One Kole.
One Kole
Baileigh.
only. One Baileigh, here to rock. It just feels like fall almost.
Oh my gosh, the weather outside is just awesome.
It was a terrible summer. It was hot. It was humid.
Yeah,
Iowa.
I was ready for it. The days of just stepping outside and starting to sweat are over, which are okay with me.
I don't mind the heat. It was just the humidity. But we actually were in California 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago.
And I get why people love the weather.
Oh my goodness.
We
in
were
San Diego, it's 70. It literally was the high was 75 or 76 every day, and the low was 65, 60.
But there's like no bugs, no humidity. No, it's perfect.
It is pretty perfect weather. Molly was like, "Oh, I could get used to this," and I'm just like, "Yeah, I like the winters and
you
snow
would."
Yeah, that's not for me.
We were in California for LPL, our broker dealer focus, where it's awesome. You get to go there, connect, do a lot of training, listen to Maroon 5.
Yeah, it was their national conference. They had over 10,000 advisors there, and myself, Baileigh, and Kole all went. My wife and two girls went with me.
You were a trooper.
and they got to go to the zoo, SeaWorld, and the beach, and I went to a conference the whole time.
Because you're inside from like 8 to 4, 8 to 5, and back-to-back trainings. But it's so well done.
Oh my gosh.
So organized. They feed you well.
Very organized, very intuitive information. Lot of information, and it's hard to infiltrate it all back into your business, especially when you come back of being gone, because it's harder when you get back. But at the same time, it was very, very good.
But it makes us feel good that we've partnered with LPL. Like every time I go to that, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, right decision.
They're a great broker dealer.
Yeah,
for sure.
So first day of school yesterday.
Yes, they are back to school, and I got in bed at 9:05 last night, and I was pretty happy about it.
8:05.
Oh yeah, 8:05. Wow.
The kids were tired.
Yeah.
Peter's laughing. He's like, my ring told me I was asleep within 11 minutes.
Oh my gosh, 8:05. That is
Our
super.
kids are still little.
Yeah,
Day and Luke were still up.
That is true. They're a lot littler than my kids. So.
Because what grades do you have?
So I have sophomore. Joseph is sophomore. David is sixth grade at the first year at the middle school, and the girls are in third grade. So
the middle school. That's right. Big step. Me and Luke were talking about that. Yep.
Getting on the bus and doing all that. Yeah.
And then our kids, my oldest is with your youngest, two girls, third grade.
Yep, they're in the same class at Fieldhaver Elementary. So that's I'm so happy when school starts. I think Molly's even more happier because now she has a little bit of
routine.
Downtime. Well, she has a little downtime at home where she can
true.
actually work and not have 17 different distractions. So that's a good thing for us.
Yeah, we'll get into that when we get into our topic, routines and financial routines. But how are the Cubs doing?
So the Cubs are doing okay. 5 games back from the Brewers in the division. Top wild card spot. Still like the third best record in the National League. If they don't make the playoffs, I'll be shocked. But things happen. But it's not looking as good as it did earlier this year when they were. You
don't seem as excited.
The Brewers went on a historic run. I saw a stat the other day, like their last 47 games, they were like 35-12, which is unheard of in baseball to win 75% of your games at any point. The really good teams win 60% of their games.
It's just such a long season.
Yes, and there are only 31 games left. They played 131, and they got 31 left. There's 162 games, so it's coming to an end a month from now.
It's coming to an end, and football is in full swing.
Yeah. Football's in full swing.
Are your Broncos supposed to win a?
Well, they went to playoffs last year. They got beat first round by the Bills, but they made the playoffs.
Iowa State won.
Iowa State won over in Dublin.
So cool.
I thought they played fine. They were playing a good team, so just to get the W is big.
I'm ready for football fall. You're not coaching. It was so funny. Cole Jasky in the office this morning was printing off football plays. He's like, I have a million things to do, but Cole P always used to take care of plays. They have their first practice tonight.
They have the first practice tonight?
Yeah, so he's last minute preparing.
He was asking me for my playbook, and I gave it to him. And
did it cost him $15 for a copy?
No, I didn't charge him anything.
Kidding.
I actually gave him the old flags too, because they don't allow you to use black flags in the older division. So, but yeah, my girls aren't playing football for the first time, which makes me a little sad. But at the same time, I knew they probably wouldn't play football all the way through. I just thought I had a couple more years.
I don't know. I could see Elliot playing all the way through. Sophie Cunningham, WNBA player, she played football in high school. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, she's the kicker.
Yeah, Ellie's going to do soccer, and Etta is doing volleyball. So we have four kids in 4 different sports.
Yeah,
Joseph's doing golf, David's doing football, Elia soccer, Etta volleyball. And
I'll tie this in. We'll kick it off because I was doing my September calendar. Soccer practice, football practice, soccer practice, football, dance, gymnastics. I'm like, oh my goodness, we are in full. That's why you have to be more in routine. It gets you, you know what I mean? You're in gear. You got a lot going on the calendar.
Yeah, Molly said the other night, because I was like, I go from golf practice because I'm helping with the high school team straight to football practice tonight and Thursday. And she's like, yeah, I'll see you in October.
Yeah, it is true. So I think it's interesting. It does seem like it's a culture thing, an energy thing. Once school starts, everyone seems to just hone back in financially, routinely. I mean, everything. It's like summer's kind of a little slippery slope sometimes.
Summer gets a little erratic, right? Because you're doing vacations, your kids are going to the pool, they're not eating at school, so your expenses sometimes get a little erratic too. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Like, how do I get back on schedule? Maybe after a summer of where you didn't quite stick to your budget or stick to everything that you had planned to do, and trying to get back with it.
Well, and I think once you're in routine, it's easier to be in routine with your finances, right? Because now we're going to bed at 8:05, 9:05. Now we're getting up. It will not be 8:05 every night. I did get up at 4. So there you go. That makes a difference. But I mean, I'm just saying it's easier. Your kids' activities, the school funding, all that starts to get more into routine. And I think, what would you tell someone as we shift into fall? What's a good tip to get back into the financial routine as we're getting into kid routine?
I would say start planning ahead. As we know, Christmas is not that far away, and a lot of people, and Thanksgiving, and if you have kids that are in sports, sometimes they start doing basketball travel teams. Plan ahead and look at your budget now, as they're in school. Now that things should calm down, where you're not going on as many vacations, you're not having as many eating out types of situations. So look at your budget now and then plan for the future. Maybe start saving for Christmas, Thanksgiving, if you want to go somewhere or something like that, stay at a hotel, like start planning for those things. And
I think sitting down, if you're reviewing your week, like you and Molly were reviewing the calendar, going over practice and stuff, that's a good time to be like, okay, what do we have coming up this month and next month and leading into the end of the year? I think it's just a good time to do a financial reset and be like, okay, what do we have left for the remainder of the year that's going to be a cost? And let's review the monthly budget type of thing. But we also really want to talk about this because it's relevant back to school, is reviewing 529s, because I feel like this is a big time, college and high school, and things have changed, that it's always important. We still get a lot of questions. Should I save in a 529? How much? What can I do with it? So this is a great time to review that 529 spending.
Right. The 529, they've made a lot more flexible over the years. So the 529 issues of, hey, if they don't use it for college, then what do I do with it? If my kids don't go to college, they get a full ride scholarship. What do I do with it? Well, they've made a lot of adjustments to that. Yeah, they've given a lot of flexibility to people with 529s that you can change. We were just talking with Peter before the podcast, and he was like, well, if my parents had a 529 and I didn't use it all, what do they do with it? Well, and Bailey went over, you can switch it to a cousin, a grandchild, you can switch
Uncle.
you can switch it to yourself and go back to school if you want to, but you also can just withdraw it. I mean, that or you can convert it to a Roth IRA for the beneficiary. There's a lot of different flexibility. So don't not save in a 529 if you want to because of that reason.
And I think people forget K through 12 expenses. You can do that. Trade school, like there's more than just for college. Tutoring is also eligible now. There's a lot more things you can spend it on before your kid even gets to college. So I think obviously college costs are always going to rise and we can't keep up with them. So I think the 529 vehicle works for so many people because there is so many flexibilities to it. If you do, let's say, have a kid now, we talk about this like, oh, I want to start for Dave McAshbrook. If he doesn't go to college, he doesn't go to trade school, he becomes TikTok famous, which my kids are not allowed. I'm just kidding. But you know what I'm saying? Let's say you do have to have the money in the 529 for 15 years before you can roll it to a Roth IRA. And I'm sure that will continue to grow and be flexible. But there's just way too many ways you can use it not to take hold of it. And it's a good time to review it.
And I think the time to review it is when you're doing your budgeting, because what you should do to the most consistent savers in a 529 that we see do an auto transfer. So it's not, you're not dropping off a check. I have some people that do that, and I can tell you just from experience, it's not very consistent. I don't see them very frequently.
Sorry, the check. See you next month. I just had this happen.
Yeah, they don't drop off a check when they say they're going to. It's easier if you just set up auto transfer. It's again a bill just like your retirement plan. This is your college savings plan for your kids. Just set up auto transfer. It's $100 a month, $250, whatever you're doing. And you just put it into the 529 automatically. You don't have to think about it.
And I hear this a lot. Well, and this is obviously a personal preference when parents are like, oh, what if I don't want to help my kid out with school? Or that's fine, then don't. But it's not just limited to college. Like again, K through 12, they up the limits. You could use it used to be 10,000 a year you could use, but now it's up to 20,000 a year. So books, all those things if you go to private school. But we were kind of looking at statistics. I personally do an auto contribution, and I think obviously you don't have to give it to your kids. Let's say I'm saving for my kid, they're in college, and I'm not agreeing with their lifestyle, or I don't feel like they're really giving. You don't have to use it on that kid. You're in control of it. You can change the beneficiary. But if they are doing well and you want to, I think it's just such a great way to start your kid off. And we looked at some statistics of success. It was like over 58% of kids who leave college debt free, 58% more likely to earn $100,000 out of college. I just think it gives you that freedom, the choice, the flexibility to have more options.
Well, what I like about the 529 plan also is that your kid never gets a statement. Kid, unlike an UTMA account that you can open for them, it automatically transfers to them when they're 21 in Iowa. States differ. Just disclosure there.
We're in Iowa.
Yeah. A 529, they never get a statement. It never switches to them. They never become the owner of the account or anything like that. So if I have one for Joseph and he never goes to college or gets a scholarship, whatever, if I don't want to switch it to one of my other kids, I can wait until he has a kid, switch it to that grandkid. I can do whatever I want with it.
Yes.
And that was another question that Peter asked is like, well, if they don't use it on me, what do they do with it? What can they just, should they just switch it or what? And they can do a lot of different things with it.
Yeah, very flexible. And I just think also we are in the state of Iowa when we speak. Some states do not conform to all the same 529 rules and obligations or the K-12 qualification. So always look up your state. But I thought there's some interesting stats from the study of education. 16 million 529 accounts are nationwide, average 30,000 balance. Only 35% of families use any college saving plans. That was lower than I thought. Only 35% of families use any college saving plans. 54% of parents don't even know what a 529 is. Isn't that interesting? And I guess we probably look locally at our state. We feel like a lot of people do, but maybe that's like, I don't know. That's an interesting stat to me. Yeah.
And then obviously there's a gap there where there's some people that know what a 529 is. They just don't save into or utilize it. So, it's a tool. You don't have to utilize it. It is a good tool. Start early. It's just like any other savings plan, Roth IRA, anything like that. The sooner you start, the sooner you do automatic contributions, the more it's going to grow, the better off you're going to have as far as a balance. I kind of just figure with mine, what if none of my kids use? I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
And it's a tax deduction on the ride in, and we'll make it work some way on the way out. And I think this is really interesting. The last stat from Savings for College research published, even $500 saved makes kids 25% more likely to attend and 64% more likely to graduate. Meaning if you're saving for your kids' college, even that small amount, they're more likely, one, to go to college and two, graduate. And I think that's because it's a behavior thing. Like you're teaching them, like, we've planned for this. We're supporting you in this, or we have this vehicle to help you get through this. And that, I bet that is like freeing for a kid to know, like, hey, they want me to go to school. They're supporting me. They're saving for me. Yes, I have to follow these guidelines, but they will support me in that way. I thought that was really interesting.
If they know there's money there and they won't have to take out loans to support themselves going to school, they're probably more likely to go.
Yeah. And I think this is important. Yes, you can transfer to siblings, cousins, or even yourself, but once you switched beneficiaries, so let's say Kole moves it from Eda to Elia, that new 15-year clock restarts where you can convert it to a Roth IRA.
So let's talk about that a little bit. So typically a Roth IRA, when you move money into a Roth IRA or start a Roth IRA, that's a 5-year clock for your own individual Roth IRA. You have to be 59 and a half and have it open for 5 years where you can take the money out tax-free. So what this 15-year clock is the money actually has to be in the 529 for 15 years, or it has to be open in that beneficiary's name for 15 years. So if I have a 529 in Joseph's name and he doesn't use it and I switch it to Ellie or Etta, I have to wait 15 years in order to put that money into a Roth IRA for Ellie or Etta. And that's the rule and it's to keep people from putting money in, taking a state tax deduction, and then turning around and just putting it in a Roth IRA for the kid.
Which would be great if you could do that.
Right.
What would you rather see, Kole? Someone overfund a 529 or max out their Roth? Situational, max Roth for the people that are eligible. I would suggest that. Mm-hmm. That would be my number one. Roth money first.
Roth money first, because you can use that for college expenses for your kid. Yeah. I like the flexibility of a 529 to be able to change the beneficiary. The thing about the Roth money is you can only use it for certain people, yourself, your kids, or your spouse.
You can't
change it to the grandchildren or something like that. Now, Roth IRA obviously is retirement funds for yourself technically. So it varies with every different situation. But I tend to lean towards the Roth IRA, but most people that are doing 529s are either not eligible for a Roth IRA or already maxed their Roth IRA.
I just like the separation and it's definitely situational where you're at financially, but I like knowing, like, this is the money I'm setting aside for my kids. This is the money I'm setting aside for my, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it definitely varies, but again, we talk about this all the time: habits, automation, just saving, right? We just want to start saving and planning for college. So yeah.
If you don't plan for it, your kids are less likely to also plan for it.
Yeah.
It's kind of what we're getting at. Yeah. If you plan for it, even if so the stat was $500, but I mean, imagine if you change a zero to that and it's $5,000, your kids are probably 50% more likely to attend a college if they know there's $5,000 sitting there that they can use.
I don't think college is going anywhere. I know there's definitely different things being revamped, and education and learning online is different, but I definitely think there's always those jobs that are going to require a degree, and I don't want to limit my kids if that's one of those things. But obviously we've talked about this on other episodes, like have conversations with your kids about what they want to do, trade school, college, like start young and start getting them to think about really like what is our plan and how can we save properly to start you off the best way we can.
Yeah.
And you talked about other accounts. Go into them real quick. Recap other kids' savings accounts.
So you can do an UTMA account, and what that does is the earnings and the dividends and everything that are paid on that account are according to the child's Social Security number. So obviously, when they're not working, not making much money, or not working at all, they're not going to pay any taxes on that money. So if you start an UTMA account I started for Elia right now. She's 8 years old. Obviously, she doesn't have any earned income. We're not going to pay any tax on that money that's in that account. Now, the downfall of an UTMA account is once they get to age 21, it automatically shifts into their name. So they get that account. And
who knows what they're doing?
Right, if you got $40,000 in that account and they're 21 years old, they have their 21st birthday, they may blow all $40,000 that one night and go to Vegas or something like that. You won't have any control over it because it's not
money.
a college savings account. It is a account that is designed to be turned over to that minor.
Yes. A day has not much in it, but we just started it so he could start learning the power of it. He's always like, I'm going to buy my first car with that money. I'm like, oh boy. But we like put his birthday money if he gets stuff in there. But I think it's a good tool for them to feel like they have some skin in the game and they know like, hey, I can do whatever I want with this money. So.
All these savings plans also, we do want to tell people like they can hurt your financial aid if you do go to apply for financial aid. So it's something, to think about. Like you don't want to have, if you're going to try to get financial aid, you don't want to have $1 million saved up for your kids to go to college. But at the same time,
you probably cash flowing it.
If you're able to save that much, you're probably not going to qualify for a lot of financial aid for your children. So just think about that. That does impact that. But another account that I like people to start is a custodial Roth IRA. So
Love it.
I like to just go back to my family. Obviously, Joseph started a summer job. He's working at the orchard. He's making some money. I
did not know Joseph was working at the orchard.
Yeah, he works at the back 40. Yeah. Just on the weekends. But yeah, he's making a little money there. But so that money that he makes, anything. So say he makes $1,000 this year. He can put $1,000 in a Roth IRA now.
Earned income.
Whatever his earned income is, he can put in a Roth IRA. What I've done is I've made a deal with him like, hey, if you put $100 in the Roth IRA, I will match the $100 in the Roth IRA. Then it'll start with $200. So it's good for teens to get that retirement savings early. Again, they can use that money for college if they want to, but it's a way to invest that money instead of just having them have it sit in their savings or checking because they probably will blow it.
And how many people have we heard, I wish I would have saved sooner? What a great way, like a small way to just start saving in a retirement account if you don't use it for school. Like I couldn't imagine being 35 with a Roth IRA and I'd been saving in it since I was a teen. Like compound growth, know I love Roth. So
Roth for me did not start until later on in life because obviously they didn't start in 401ks and I didn't save when I was younger. So Roth to me is just getting compounded and I can't wait for it to keep growing.
Yeah. All right, so we're back to school. We went over the minor accounts. We're reviewing the budget. We're looking at our financial education savings. So 3 big resets right now. Review / maybe possibly open a 529 for your kid if you have not. Check your minor accounts and teach your kids about what your options are.
Yeah, they need to know. Well, they don't necessarily need to know exactly what you're doing, but I think it's smart for them to know that you are saving for college. Whether it motivates them or not, I think it's smart to let them know that we are saving for college if you decide to go. If you don't, we'll figure that out.
Yeah. Give them more than just school supplies. Give them a little financial security along the way.
I like that. Financial supplies.
Yeah, there you go.
This podcast is produced by Spin Market and Digital. Located in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Spin Market's highly skilled team can help you increase your market by updating your website, improving SEO, designing advertisements, and producing podcasts that will grab the attention of your market. Contact Spin Market today for all your digital marketing needs at digitalagent@spinmarket.com or call us at 515-302-8026. And to learn more, visit our website at www.spinmarket.com. That's digitalagent@spinmarket.com or 515-302-8026. Or visit our website at www.spinmarket.com.
Let's do a little dollars and cents.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Holla, Cole P, you give us the stats today.
Yeah, stat nerd's gone again, but the second stat nerd is here. So we are doing a Social Security seminar coming up October 9th at the old Starlight, now called Crossroads Center, Crossroads, what convention center?
Crossroads Event Center.
Event Center, sorry.
Same location,
Yeah,
new name.
Same location that we've always done them. So yeah, come on out. October 9th, starts at 6 o'clock. But the reason I bring that up is the Social Security Administration is officially transitioning away from paper checks September 30th.
I'd be excited about that.
If you have got notified in the mail and are still receiving a paper check, you will not get one after September 30th. Don't think that you're the exception. Okay.
How many people are getting checks?
There are, I don't know the answer to that, but it's $600,000 that they spend to send out the checks every month. I know that.
Oh my
So the Social Security Administration is going to save
Peter's
$600,000 sending out the checks every month, which I think it's time. It's time.
Plus paper mails, snail mails is like of the time.
Yeah. You have to sign up to either receive it by direct deposit, which is what the majority of Americans do. It goes directly in your checking your savings account. If you do not, you will get a direct express card from the Social Security Administration that will work like a prepaid debit card. And your balance or your monthly will go onto that card, and you will have to use that card in order to spend your money.
Oh, that's pretty nice. So you can set it up automatically to your bank, or if you do not, you get a card.
Correct.
I trust my bank over the card.
I would definitely do it that way, because if you get it on the card, I don't know. I guess I don't know exactly. I'm assuming you can go and withdraw cash from the bank through the card, but you might get fees. And
I would
just have it directly deposited. By goodness, everyone should have a checking or savings account. Just put it in there. But
600,000 savings. Think about that. Everyone's worried about Social Security. Well, let's save the money right there and help it out and put it back into the system. You know?
Yeah, there are people that get the checks, and some of those have mental impairments or living in remote areas, things like that. But you should be able to get a direct deposit and figure it out that way. But that is September 30th. That deadline is looming.
That's fast.
Well, they've announced it like 2 years ago,
but I'm saying
it's
that's
coming up.
Fast.
It's coming up. Yeah. So people that have not addressed that, do not think that you are the exception, because they will just not send you the check anymore.
I wonder how many people be angry, like, I don't have my money, and then they don't have the card set up or something. Be proactive is what I'm saying.
Be proactive, for sure.
And to add to that, so our Social Security event, October 9th, 6 o'clock, 7:30, Crossroads Event Center, is open to the public. We have a phenomenal speaker coming from Allianz. We love him very dearly, Ernie. But it's just free education. If you're not drawing Social Security net, you're not sure, there's always rules changing. It's a great one to come to. We feed you. You get to learn. You get to be around the crew. Bring a friend. It's great. Yeah,
we have food and drinks, and if anything, just have a meal on us and listen to a little bit of the speaker. But it is a great way to learn about Social Security. Like Baileigh said, it's constantly changing, so it's hard for us to keep up on all the changes, right? So we hire these, not hire, but they come and do this. Yeah, they come and do the speaking for us, because we learn something every time we have a speaker. We're like, oh, okay, we heard about that change, didn't know it actually went through, didn't know that. Yeah,
yep, everything, and it's very impactful for everyone. That even if they're already taking Social Security, they learn something new. But you can go to our website, www.fullswingfinancial.com, and there's an RSVP link there. You call the office, email. But yeah, we love doing those events. We always have a great turnout.
Please RSVP if you can. Yes. That way we get better numbers. But if you don't, we will still accept you.
And plug Mexican.
Yeah, La Hacienda does a great job out there.
It's great, and I heard we're celebrating my birthday because it's the next day.
That's true.
Into 40. Whew.
October 9th is my brother and my dad's birthday.
I knew that. Yeah. Your dad going to come celebrate with some free Mexican? You can tell me you brought him dinner.
He'll probably come, even though he's been on Social Security for like 10 years. But
Okay, so let's get back into it. Last 4 months of the year once September hits. That's crazy. I think this year's flying by. Again, we started this financial routine. It feels better for parents too. I feel like everyone gets in routine. So another thing we like to really check is beneficiaries, life insurance, all that kind of stuff. So talk about life insurance for your kids, Kole.
Yeah, life insurance for your kid is kind of a double-edged sword. A lot of people are like, well, if something did happen to my kids, I've heard this before. They're like, I don't want to make money off of it. And I'm like, well, that's not what it is for. It's designed for you to not have to be buried financially if something were to happen to one of your kids.
Yeah.
I think it's smart to get within the first year when your kids are born, because there isn't a lot of underwriting. Obviously, they're 3 months
correct.
old, 6 months old, whatever they are. You can apply for a kid policy, and as long as they weren't in the NICU for a long time or something like that, they're almost automatically approved.
Correct.
And they're very, very, very inexpensive.
So cheap.
So cheap. You don't need it. You don't have to have a $500,000 policy on your kids. You can have a $25,000 policy on your kid, or you can attach it to your term policy that you already have.
That's what I was going to say.
So there's kids riders on term. So if you get a term policy, you can attach, I think it's up to 35,000, up to 50,000.
35. I looked at it.
Yeah, 35 of the max. To your own policy, and then that covers that child that you just had, plus any children that you have in the future.
So I think this is a great time to review so I just had this. I have a client friend, she had a second kid, and she's like, I don't think my personal term life insurance is enough. Like if something happened, now I have 2 kids. So she wanted more coverage, and then she could add the additional child rider. So now if something happened to the kids, she's covered at a higher level. They're also both now covered. And it's just a good time to review, like, if something happened to me, if you're going to add them on your own policy, am I going to be able to cover the kids' activities, the education? You're protecting the kids' future is what it is with insurance. Whether you're insuring them individually or adding them to your policy, I think it's just a great time to review. And you said something like making money off your kids. I always say this to people, you're not making money off your kids. If something so tragically happened, we'd want you to be able to spend that time to do what you need to do. Like I always tell people, I have my kids on my term insurance because if something happened to one of them, I want to be able to cover those costs financially, not worry about, but I'm not going right back to work. You know what I mean? Like it gives you the time to figure out your life because gosh forbid something happened and you're going through that phase. We always want to protect you too, your family, your whole family. So it's a great time to just review your insurance options, your coverage. Does your kids need coverage? And do that while you're reviewing the 529s.
Yeah, the term insurance is not always, so you take out like a 20 or a 30-year term. How many times have we rewritten those? Because people's lives change, right?
Yes.
When you go from making $50,000 to $150,000, well, your life insurance it's got to change with you. So if you wrote the life insurance 10 years ago, just because you have 20 years left on it doesn't mean that you should keep it. Or get another term that covers more of your income, more of what you're gonna your spouse would have to handle if you're gone. So
I'm assuming when you had twins, you needed a little more insurance.
I've updated my insurance so many times throughout the years by adding policies or just getting rid of one policy, but always get the new policy before you cancel the old policy.
Make sure you're insurable.
Make sure you're insurable, but get a new policy, add your kids' insurance to that. That way you know that something is covered. If they were to pass away, you would have some tax-free money that you wouldn't have to worry about taking out of any account. You would get that from the insurance company completely tax-free, and then you financially, it's not going to be enough to carry you through 6 months or anything like that, but at least some time to grieve and not have to worry about finances. How
do you explain to clients that life insurance is, because I feel like there are a lot of people that avoid or delay putting life insurance off, like, oh, I'll get to it. Then they start having kids, they get busy. Like, how do you explain it's not like we don't have life insurance out of fear? It's really love and protection because we care so much about everything we're building. How do you explain that to a client? Yeah,
you don't have life insurance for yourself.
Correct.
I mean, because you're
gone.
Dead. Your life insurance is for the people that you love. And you don't want them to necessarily make money off of you dying, but at the same time, it happened. I mean, things happen.
But you're protecting them if the worst.
You're protecting them that their life doesn't have to change if something were to happen to you. So that's what you're trying to. Now their life would change, obviously, but they don't have to change their lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Too often we see, someone young passes away that has kids. If they didn't have the proper life insurance, the spouse that's left over has stresses. They have
debts. They can't do the lifestyle. They're on a single income.
Yeah, they have to go back to work, or sometimes they rush into the next marriage because they need the second income. It just makes things a little bit crazier for them if they aren't financially stable. But we've seen the other side where the person has it set up, and
it just eases.
You can just see the relief on the person's face. Yes. Although they lost their spouse and they're very stressed about the whole situation, they don't have to stress financially.
They don't have to rush to the next decisions. They can take their time. They don't have to worry financially.
We don't have to worry about how to pay for the funeral costs or the burial or how to replace income. Like when we have the money there from the life insurance, it helps out with everything.
What is the simplest way? Because I get this a lot. How much, and it's, you can explain this, I know you will. What is the simplest way to figure out how much you actually need in life insurance, like times your income?
So that varies with everybody, because times your income is a good measure, and it's typically recommended 10 to 15 times your income.
Yep.
But also it weighs on how much debt you have.
Yes. So, or if you have a lot saved up already.
Correct. If you have 10 to 15 times your income, but you have zero debt and you already have $1 million in retirement accounts, maybe you don't need 10 times. Maybe you only need 5 times. Go the opposite way. If you have a lot of debt and you don't have a lot saved up in your 401ks, say you only have $50,000 saved up and you have $800,000 in debt because you guys bought a dream house, then you probably need way more than 10 to 15 times your income, because a lot of people take out life insurance and they take out the amount of debt that they have, which drives me absolutely bonkers, because yes, they can wipe out that debt and not have a house payment, but they still have kids.
If you're by yourself, everything's going to be more expensive because you're going to have to get help.
Yeah.
And you're on one income. So yeah, I always tell people 10 to 15 times your income. As you get older, like 40, 50s, we can take that down a little bit because now you have a nest egg and you have less liability. But I read a stat somewhere, I can't remember. It's like basically it takes about 7 years, the average person, to get remarried. Find someone actually get remarried. So let's just think 7 to 8 years. How could I support myself without my spouse? That's a good way to weigh it. So yeah.
Yep. I think that was a great way to think about it.
So we're in the last 4 years. How can we, or 4 months, 4 years. We're in the last 4 months of the year, starting September. Isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. September through December are some of the busiest, as we've been saying, but they're also most expensive for families. Holidays, kid activities, year-end deadlines. What can people do to proactively set up the last 4 years now that we're back in routine?
The 4 months of the year.
Did I say 4 years again?
That's okay.
Because I'm thinking of college, 4 years.
Yeah, colleges. Yeah. I feel like people get stressed because they don't have a plan. And we talked this at the beginning of the podcast, like have a plan for Christmas. Mm-hmm. Have a budget.
Start saving now. Yes.
Well, start saving, but also when you get to December 1st and you start buying gifts, don't just buy nonchalantly and put it on the credit card, because then your whatever you had in your mind that you were going to spend per kid, $200 or whatnot, ends up being $300, $400 per kid. Have a budget in mind of, and me and Molly go through this. She's like, okay, this is what I'm thinking I'm going to spend per kid. This is what we're going to spend for my mom and dad. Here's what we're going to spend for my sister, and blah, blah, blah. So here's the total. And then
are they getting Baileigh in the office this year? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Just everything that goes into Christmas time doesn't have to be stressful financially if you plan for it. But like Baileigh said, if you can start planning for it in September and start saving a little bit to the side, you don't have to worry about when January credit card bills come around, trying to pay those off. We want to avoid
that. I think it was basically Americans spend $1,000 on the holidays or more on gifts and everything. That's not a surprise, right? It's not a surprise that we spend that every year. Like we sometimes our clients, Christmas, but you did that last. You know what I mean? It's not a negative. It's just part of your budget. I just think putting a 30-minute block to check in on your calendar until the end of the year, like where are we at? Let's review our 529 contributions. We review our beneficiaries. Let's review our health savings balance. All the things. Do we need to do any more Roth contributions or 401k contributions? It's a great time to just sit down once a month the last four months and be like, hey, 30 minutes. What do we really need to do to end this year strong? And it's a great time. We were talking about this tax planning, charitable contributions, Roth conversions before the year ends. It's a great time to review that with your advisors.
I also think of now that sports, so things kind of reset with sports, because obviously my kids are kind of in that age. Reset with sports after baseball and softball ends, like in the middle of the summer. Now we're starting fall. You've got some parents, and spend a lot of money on travel sports.
It's out of control, in my opinion.
Right. And we won't go there.
No.
But at the same time, I think a lot of that is being put on their credit card and not necessarily budgeted. It is hard to budget because you don't know how much you're going to travel, what you're going to eat, what you're going to spend. It is hard to budget for it because I've tried it because David was on a travel baseball team. But at the same time, you also need to put a line item in there for travel sports. Yeah, well, travel sports, you need to put a line item in there that, hey, I think I'm going to spend this on Johnny's basketball, and I think I'm going to spend this as on Amy's baseball or Amy's softball, and so it's got to become a line item that I think people aren't thinking about.
Yeah, and I think people, it's okay. I think the kid activity is hard, especially fall. You got school supplies, school clothes, football, all the things. It's just like, again, sit down and review, what do we think we're going to spend? And here's the second caveat for some people. Can we afford to do all this? It's okay. And it's actually very responsible to tell your kids, like, one activity, not 3 activities. Let's not bend our whole family, because just like your kid, you feel more secure in routine and financial security, your kids feel that from you too, right? So if you're stressed because you're trying to keep up with 4 activities, all your friends are in it, but you can't afford it, I guarantee your family's not going to enjoy it. So just stick to your life. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing.
That's one of the reasons my girls aren't playing football.
Twins.
Because they both wanted to do a dance class, and they both wanted to do volleyball or soccer. And we're like, you're not going to have 3 things going on at once. Sorry. I mean, we just can't do it.
No, it doesn't fit our family. It wasn't even
necessarily a financial thing. It's just like, I don't want to run an 8-year-old around to practice literally every night. Because soccer's Monday and Friday and dance is Tuesday. Okay, when are you going to go to football practice?
And I think that's why it's such a good time to, once you're back in a routine, is to sit down and be like, what do we really want to do as a family these last 4 months? What do we need to save for? It's just, it all connects financially and behaviorally. So Cole, if you could tell the listeners, what is one financial routine from September to December to end the year with a bang for your financial routine? With a bang. Just feeling good going into the end of December. Holiday, it's New Year's Eve. How many years will I be married? 8 years on New Year's Eve. Emily. Yeah. Me and Emily in the office both. Was it the same day? No, she was a year after me or 2. Anyways. Okay. Yeah. It's the same day, but not the same year. Yes. Sorry, I said that wrong. Enjoying the holidays, sipping on some hot cocoa and this terrible snow that Cole likes. But you feel good because you just set yourself up to end the year well. What would be the tip? Putting you on the spot. Right. I feel like we say it all the time, but set up a budget. Yay! I knew that was going to be it. I think people also don't realize how much money they actually make if they don't budget and figure out where the money's going and what they can save. And I mean, there's some times that I've sat down with people and doing a budget, and we figure out you can actually find money. You can do a $500 a month Roth contribution. They're like, I didn't know I had that much left. I was like, you actually have $1,000 a month left over. I'm leaving $500 in your like miscellaneous budget and just taking half of it and putting it in a Roth IRA. And they're like, great. I say this, I've said it a million times. Budgets are not restricting. No, they're freeing. They're freeing. You're just telling your money what to do, and you're just saving for the things you really want to be saved. Holidays, Roth, 529s. Maybe you don't care about your kid going to college. That's fine, but just do what you want to do. Be intentional with it. So I love that. 30 minutes, sit down, September, October, November, beginning of December, end the year with a bang. End it with a bang. And yeah, it was great. So we went over 529, school routine. I love this time of the year. I thrive in it. Love it. We cannot control how busy life gets, but we can control how prepared we are for it. For sure. So set your financial routines now in the holidays. Don't forget October 9th. Social Security Seminar. Yep. Crossroads Event Center. Yep. And we hope 6 o'clock. Big shout out to all those teachers doing the Lord's work. Doing the, oh man. We're thinking of you. We appreciate you. You guys don't hear that enough. Yes. Thank you for taking my kids. Excellent is the gradual result of always striving to do better. Pat Riley. Go Cubs.
You've been listening to How to Money with Kole and Cole, the podcast of Full Swing Financial Planning. To learn more, visit their website at www.fullswingfinancial.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
For now, I'm Cole.
I'm Bailey.
And I'm Cole.
And we'll see you on the greens. 4.
Security and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC.